Welcome to Greatwood on this beautiful June afternoon. To the left you'll see that we've got a large field that we put aside for our winter forage, which I'm hoping is going to be cut in the next week or so. We've only got a small amount this year that we're cutting. So we're going to the main car parking area now, where we have the charity reception. And through this way, on the right hand side, we have then Park of the Peacock. You can just see him in the distance. And he's one of a trio called the Thunderbirds. We've got lots of poultry here because the children and young people and our adults find them quite fascinating, as indeed do we. And they're a great addition to our charity. So from there we go into the reception, where it's the chief domain of our charity administrator and the fundraising crew, of course. So here Kevin is sitting, our charity administrator. This is the hub of all that goes on. So we have lots of pictures and things of Cheltenham and Greatwood Hurdle and all sorts of things that we've done, and our fundraising. And this is the classroom that we have for the children and young people and adults that for whatever reason have been referred to us by any of the local services communities. And we have anything between 150 and 200 students, young people and adults come to us each year from, as I said, social services and from other educational groups and schools. This is quite a busy place to be in school time. Of course, at the moment, everything is closed until September now. We have fab funding from Retraining of Race Horses that support all these horses that you can see here in front of us now. They're the horses that we use for our educational programmes for the children and young people. And believe it or not, they are absolutely brilliant. You'd never think a racehorse could be so adaptable to be doing this future career. And this is one thing that I hope, that maybe the horses that can't be used for riding or for another alternative career under saddle can be used for the great benefits they have and produce for the children and young people and adults, because they give such a lot back. It's an extraordinary thing, and we've had such fantastic results with it. Here we've got an oil that was my father bought for me because Dino's Beano was my most favourite horse ever, and it happened to be an open day in 2004, and we've got it painted of Dino's, and behind it we had AP McCoy, who was playing football, a charity football match that day, plus the late and great John McCurrick, and it's signed on the back. So whether or not that remains here forever, I don't know, but probably it will. Dino's Beano, my most favourite horse of all time out of all the hundreds of horses that we've had here. Great, enigmatic character. So we turn around back through here. To the left, you'll see that we have a system that we use for the horses, which is absolutely fantastic if they've got sore backs, or we've shampooed them or something like that, and they can actually be put underneath there, and it's a great thing and they really enjoy it. So this, you will see, is a funny little place, because it was an old dairy farm that we converted, so it is slightly different from most stables. Here we're going into our second classroom that was kindly built by Mr. Albasti, and from Albasti Equiworld, and this is really, I suppose, the classroom that we use for the most for doing the equine activities with initial bit. So this is the one that we use from theirs, because they can then use the stables that you've just gone through, the stables that you've just gone past, and that's where they can pull out the horses that they need to work on. So now we're going into the Cloakroom, where all the students gather for their meals. We also do cooking in here with three qualified teachers that we have here, and they will actually then teach on a maybe cold, miserable day in winter. We use the facilities here, and they'll bake the produce that we're actually achieving from the farm. So now we're walking down to the main yard, and on the right in front of you you'll see an area which is our isolation area. So if we have any horses referred to us that we maybe don't have any background history of, and that we need to put them in isolation for a while, these are the boxes that we use for them. Then we go into our main barn, which is we call the exercise barn, and you'll note that all the stables are empty because, of course, all the horses are out in the summer. So our theory at Greatwood is when they're in, they're in, and when they're out, they're out. And you'll see that this is a completely different style of stabling than you'll see in most establishments, in as much that it encourages the horses to be very sociable to each other. Because our one thing is that we need to teach these horses to be a horse again, and then they can develop their skills. Also, it's jolly good for maybe the horse. Sorry about Lord Claude, who's decided that he's going to be a key part of the whole thing. There's Lord Claude, looking rather fine. So one of the sociability, so it's teaching the horses sociability skills with actually the things with not only young things, maybe a goose flying past with a Jack Russell or something attached to its tail, has to adapt to a domestic environment from a very professional racing career. So to the right, you'll see that we have the staff room. This is where the staff all gather on a cold winter's day. Then we have on the left where we keep our feed. At the moment we've got lots of grooming kits that we're all cleaning, getting ready for the winter. So this is where we keep all our feed. And this is our board where we keep all the things that we need for the feed requirements, but they don't actually need so much at the moment because, as I say, they're all out of grass. Then in here we have the tack room, which is where we keep all our gear and exercise gear for converting really a racehorse back to a horse that can undertake a different career. And then to the left here is the area that has been developed for the children to use to produce all the vegetables and salads and fruit that we need, that we use and we store and cook for the winter. And there's a little sensory garden down there too. This is the school ahead that we use for all our work with the horses that we're bringing in for rehabilitation. But then we come up to the post and rail field here, which we use for the horses that have only just come into us because it's safer than the rest of the electric fencing, that we can only afford that. These horses have fly sheets on, largely because this side of our farm is absolutely plagued by horseflies, and if we didn't do this we'd have them galloping around and sweating around and hurting themselves and generally not doing what we want to do, which is to rest and get strong enough for us to start work on them. So we're now walking up to the main large fields that we have here. We have 110 acres here at Greatwood, and we make our own forage each year, which is a great saving for us. And our theory has always been that it's very appropriate for the horses to be out and learn to be a horse again, and therefore I have as many as 27-30 horses in a herd at any one time. Here we have the little people, the Shetlands or the nursemaids. Sometimes, not so much now, thankfully, because the racing industry have intervened so greatly. There may be a horse that is a little bit too weak to hold its own with other of its kind, its other racehorses. So these little people will actually cajole a horse into eating, but also make sure there's company. They're also fabulous for the children and young people that maybe have come from inner city areas that have never touched an animal before. And as you can imagine, to go straight in from, even as we start them gently with our poultry and dogs and all those other type of small animals, goats, to go into then a very large racehorse is a big ask. So these are ideal stepping stones, these little people. So they do us a great service. So in front of you, you've got the Greatwood dogs, the little border at the front, Gertrude, Flirty Gertie. Then you've got Gordon, who was the great, absolutely agile dog on an ITV film. Gordon, actually he's also named Mr. Bennett for obvious reasons, because then he can have the first name and the surname together. Then we have Ernie, and then we have Hannah, the yellow Labrador, and then Gus, Angus. So this is a lovely shaded avenue, which also is protected from the rain. So sometimes when we have our presentation day, when we can have as many as 300 people here for our learners, this is a great place where they can shelter from the rain and the flies, and we can carry on delivering all the certificates. So we have all shapes and sizes, which gives all our people here a great deal of amusement and is great joy to the children and young people. And that's Peter Andre making all that noise. You can't really always see where he's going. And then behind him, oh Lord.
Thank you for taking the time to join us on this virtual tour of Greatwood. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed showing it to you. It's just a small snapshot of what we do here, and I hope that at some stage we may be able to welcome you at Greatwood in person. Many thanks.